Bad Brains are a band from Washington, D.C. They were formed in 1976 under the name Mind Power, and at that point were a jazz fusion band. In 1979, they changed their name to Bad Brains, and they are considered to be a hardcore punk band, but that's a little bit too simple a view because they also play reggae, and as time went on, they started to play soul, funk, R&B, heavy metal, and hip hop, and who knows what else. They are known for being a black rock band, as in their members are black. And in 1987, they started to change members, and they had a lot of member changes for a while. And then in 1995 to 1998, they had a hiatus. They reformed in 1998 with a stable lineup, which happened to be the same as their 1979 lineup when they became Bad Brains. They have created 9 studio albums, and they are Rastafarians. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the second album by Bad Brains. It's my first encounter with them as a band, so therefore with this album as well. And I think I listened to the remastered, reissued CD version, and I'm assuming that because there was a different track order that I had from the track order that when I looked it up on Wikipedia that it was. And yeah, normally, I try and make sure I listen to as closely as possible to the original version. In this case, there's a couple of tracks here and there, but there's a lot of tracks, and as the order is different. So I'm not going to say anything particularly about the sequencing of the album. So the first track that I heard was kind of fast speed punk. It was fast and chaotic, but it seemed well done, and I enjoyed it. And then the second one was the same. So I thought, oh, is it going to be a whole album of very similar tracks? But after 4 tracks had gone really quite quickly, the 5th track was a reggae track, and it sounded completely like it was a totally different band. To the extent that I then went and checked whether I'd made some kind of mistake in the playlist that I'd got, if there was something wrong there. And no, this is what they do, or this is what they did, which was they did punk tracks and they did reggae tracks. And so the album has got 2 modes. There's this fast, short punk soundtracks. When I say punk, I mean very kind of fast and with a chaotic feeling to it, kind of rough sounding around the edges. And then there's got long, slow reggae tracks that are kind of 3 or 4 times the length of the punk tracks. When they're in punk mode, sometimes some of the guitar playing, kind of lead guitar playing, sounds like it's heavy metal, like shredding, kind of fast and stuff. And there's some high kind of it's vocals. It's kind of half shouted, half sung. It's really hard to make out what's being sung in those tracks. The reggae tracks sounded to me like they were a different singer. So again, I looked this up, and no, apparently there's one guy who sings, but he's very versatile and can do lots of different styles of singing. So musically, bizarre in that sense. The songs are, the reggae songs about kind of Rastafarian things, talking about using kind of Jamaican slang, like you kind of expect in reggae. I'm talking about Yah and Haile Selassie and things like that, and bits from the Old Testament. And then some of the punk songs are also about Rastafarian kind of things, but some of them are more about social disobedience and typical punk content. So I quite like the track We Will Not, which is about we're not going to do what you say, and we're just not going to do what you want either. So I kind of enjoyed it. I think in terms of the punk tracks, it's some of the hardcore punk that I've enjoyed the most. It's the reggae is decent. I think The contrast is odd, but I think it works. I think an album of just one or the other might just be too much. Yeah, I reasonably enjoyed it. So I'd love to know what you think. So please, as always, talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.
Why must